Wampa-da-da-da, wampa-da, tutti-frutti, all Rudy. Tutti-frutti, all Rudy. Tutti-frutti, all Rudy. A wampa-da-da-da, wampa-da-da, damn. Alright, so we scared some people off yesterday. My sincere apologies. But, I just felt something there. I just felt something. You know, it's like your gut feeling, like intuition. You know, I've been studying all this stuff. People might laugh. They might say, "Why are you doing this?" Well, I think it's important. I think it's important because, you know, someday, you know, you could, like, explain it. Explain what happened. You know? I mean, like, you're a witness. You're a witness to it all. I mean, when Johnny, I'll be honest, it was a little intense because it kind of hit me a little bit. As I get up, I don't have too much time to dilly-dally. You know, I got to get ready. Like today, I had to put oil in my hair. You know, sometimes you need a little treatment. Sometimes, you know, you can't neglect certain things. You know, you got to look your best. I hear something in there. Tutti frutti, all Rudy. A tutti frutti, all Rudy. And yes, man, there are a lot of deer. And yes, they were just like in the middle of the road up there yesterday. So I get out, you know, like today, for instance. You know, you turn it on, you know, because I'm in there, you know, getting ready, and I'm listening to it, and I see the panel. You know, I've been keeping notes, keeping track of, you know, what is being said. Like, you know, like when Johnny said, like, you know, you're a Trump supporter. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you know, I mean, do you know what that means? And he calls someone a Trump supporter. And now today he's saying, you know, oh, there's conservatives too. There's conservatives on here. Yeah, I haven't seen them. I don't get to see them. Very so often, very so little do I ever see them. That's why my wall remains blank most of the time. You know, I don't get people to come over because, you know, they hear things, they stay away. They get labeled. And one thing about today, like a few things that I grabbed off the feed, you know, make it simple. You know, you have to take everything in. Like some people, they believe they gotta know everything, but then they don't know nothing. You know, they're missing out on like important things, like simple things. Like a good friend, like, you know, he's like talking about the roads. You know, that's an issue. It can lead to something else. Just talking about the roads. Because, you know, I put up that cheesecake thing. You know, I put up the gentleman had a cheesecake hat. Yesterday I'm looking at the feed, you know, there's somebody that keeps on putting things with this girl, Suzanne. There's a girl, Susan, I guess she called the cops at a barbecue or something. And now they have memos or memes, whatever they call them, you know, captions or whatever. You know, they have her there, like, calling the cops on Obama, calling the cops on, you know, anything. Like, you know, they're just like, she appears, she's calling the cops. It's funny, you know, it's a joke. But is it really? You know, is it really a joke? You know, on the way up here, I'm thinking to myself, like, you know, I'm thinking, I mean, do people understand, you know, what the fundamentals, you know, what it's supposed to be? I mean, you have, like, I say you wake up, say somebody, you know, they get up, they have a cup of coffee, you know, they see that, you know, they have a little laugh, and then they go in the community. It's on their mind, it's on their conscience, like, you know, it's on their conscience. It's like, you know, with Whoopi and Don, you know, what they do, and like Hardball and Katie Tur, and like all these news organizations or daytime talk shows, what have you not. You know, I mean, going by no respect at all, just calling them you know who, and all this kind of stuff. It's like, and then you go into your community, it's like, you feel it. Like the other day when I was riding, like, there was these three people walking. One guy's like staring, like looking right at me, like, staring. And I'm thinking, like, what's he thinking about? And I can go back to like childhood days, like, where we got those looks, we know what it meant, like, and they're still there. Those kind of looks. I mean, it can't. I mean, scientifically, it's down to like one or two things. Like, it is what it is, or it isn't what it is. It is what you think it is, or it's not what you think it is. I mean, we're making this environment the way it is by not, like, seeing it from all angles, seeing it from all sides. I mean, you think about that. I spent a little time thinking about that. He has his girlfriend. He's at the Cheesecake Factory. He was on Fox News the other day. He was saying it like it is. He was saying why, just like when Keanu West came out and said, this is why. We're not here to change hearts and minds and opinions. We're just expressing ours, and, telling our story the way it is. So opened up with the cheesecake and everything like that. I just want to say, if Dave's listening in, or anyone else, maybe, they're giving us a break here. Maybe they say, all right, well, there's nothing else going on. Let's see what the Bramer and the Twinkles have to offer here today. Just saying, when we were kids, you used to have that Italian bread down there. It was like garlic. It was small loaf. And there was garlic in it. We were kids, like 8 or 9 or something, like, just having and the cheesecake. The guy S&M. He's, I went there 4 times maybe. Maybe 3. There will be a 4th time, though. I mean, I went down there, like, because I grew up. Remember when I was a kid walking down my gangway, I used to like cats a little bit. I think I wouldn't say a kid. I think I was a little over 12. I think, because I didn't really own a cat till probably around that age, 11 or 12. But, I started liking, like, cats. So I'm walking down the gangway, and I see, like, a black and white, what I thought was a cat, and I went to, like, bend down and pet it, say, hey, you want something to eat? Like, and it went, it was a skunk. And I happened to have, like, a new Macy's coat on. It was really nice at the time, my mom just got it for me and stuff like that. And I didn't think nothing of it, like, I didn't think, I thought, I just wiped it off a little bit, I get into the store, and, like, Frankie Marola and everybody, and his partner there, Sam or Al, I don't know what his name is, ravages of time. But they went, what's going on? And I didn't know, I didn't know at the time. And, apparently, the skunk, made the coat, and it was just, it was gone. It was shot. Really nothing you can do about it. I think my mom took it to the Italian guy down there, and he put some cotton candy something thing in there. I forget how that all went. But he had cheesecake there, and it was just like, I used to go down and get the cheesecake, and you're just sitting there, you're eating it, like, you're outside, and it just, our imaginations, I mean, we had so much to do, like, I mean, today we have so much technology, so much things going on, but yeah, people are, like, lonesome, people are bored, like, they're bored with it, and they resort to stuff like this. They resort to, like, putting up stuff like this when they have no idea the impact that it puts on people. They think about it. I mean, why not leave your house in the morning with, like, with good thoughts? Thinking, like, people are not like this. Like, these are rare incidents, just like with everything else. If they keep on staging, if they keep on like making it more than it actually is, that yes, there are some people that may need help. They might be a little bit confused. Maybe they made the wrong decision, or maybe they didn't make the wrong decision. Maybe you just view it that way. You weren't there. You don't know what happened. But when they grab these incidents, and they've been doing it, they've been doing it all the time, and it's leading up to something. It's not helping the situation. I mean, Curly, Mo, Larry, and Curly. Curly had a sad ending to his life. entertained. It was nice, funny, but he needed some help, stuff like that. That was one of the things I looked at. I'm like, people don't realize, how other people feel sometimes. They don't realize, that the intentions of a lot of people, of most people, are not like people that they see. There's a stereotype, this generalization kind of thing. It's really, there's no place for it. There's no place for it in a new day. But why can't we just, understand one another instead of like competing? Say, oh, you're a Trump supporter. Okay, who's a Trump supporter? Who? I didn't vote. I didn't do anything. I went to bed that night thinking Hillary. But in retrospect, now you look at it, time has gone by, and you see why. Johnny's saying, "Oh, there's a lot of..." No, they don't sit on the internet. They don't come on here. What could they do on here? What could they do? They can't say anything, because like the whole part of the media and telecommunications and everything, it's swamped. They're on guard. And they're putting things in people's heads constantly. And the meek shall inherit the earth.